Yes,
Were
we
you guys
can.
able to hear me? Sorry,
Yes.
there was some problem. Okay, I see some people are still joining. Hope you guys can see my screen.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So we can get started, guys. Do you have any questions, any doubts on uh, disk and backup, which we have done? Because we are going to start network topic today, which is very crucial. Most of the questions you will get from network, and without networking, without understanding the network of Azure, you will not be able to understand anything. Right? So before I start the fresh topic, fresh segment, wanted to ask you if you guys have any doubts, any questions on compute, and on compute, especially which we did last session, backup and recovery. We are still pending with this one with virtual machine scale set, but this I will be able to do once I complete the load balancer, and I'll be able to complete the load balancer once I do the networking. Hence, this topic is still pending. So apart from this, whatever we have done, do you guys have any doubts, any questions? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So any questions, any doubts? I mean, I saw many of you have done the task, you have completed. Few of you got the error. Few of you were able to complete it successfully. But any uh, issue or any understanding in terms of concept? Few options here and there. Someone's script is not working. I saw that someone was not able to restore it initially. It worked later. That is fine. As a concept, is it clear to you guys?
As a concept, it was clear to me. However, all the activity which we did, okay,
Hmm.
um, I got lot confused in that. I mean, we have to take the backup and also,
Hmm.
yeah, I was able to understand the concept, but I believe I'll have to go through that practical one more time. I will do that, and if I
To
have
be
any issues, I'll
mhm.
get back to you.
To be very honest here, Prabhat, I guess, right? Prabhat, you're speaking. I don't have the
Yes.
windows. Yes. So Prabhat, to be very honest, one time is not enough. Trust me. I mean, one time you have done, one more time is also not enough. You will have to practice this twice and thrice and four and five times, and then only you will get that confidence when you where you will be able to answer the questions. If you do it only once and leave it, uh, trust me, after 15 days you'll forget it. And when it comes to interview, and when the interviewers start asking the questions, okay, what options do you see at the time of backup? What are the policies? What policy have you configured? Then you will forget everything, because we have learned virtual machines. Now we are learning uh, network, then we'll be learning few more things. So this will pile up and you will forget things. So once and twice will not be enough for sure. Practice it four times, five times, maximum times. Whenever you get a chance, try creating a machine, then try to take a backup. And now whatever practicals we'll be doing, follow them, repeat them, then only you'll get that confidence. So you'll be able to say that yes, I have worked for 2 years, I have worked for 3 years, right? Okay, so as a concept, if it is clear, guys, then we'll proceed with Azure network, right? Very crucial topic. I hope you guys went through the videos which I have shared, because I'm not covering the network as such, network as a topic. Networking as a topic, it's very a huge topic. And network is not with Azure. It wasn't introduced by Azure. Network was always there. It was since inception. It was there of IT, etc. Network is there from a long time. So we are not covering the networking. For that, I had sent videos to you guys. What are the IP addresses, class of IP addresses, what is a public IP, what is a private IP, all those things. I have already shared some videos on YouTube videos, and I have it on my own videos as well in my previous batches. But it takes a lot of time, and networking is a prerequisite. I have asked every one of you before joining also. I asked that you should know networking. Hence, I'm not covering the network part, network topic. Right? What we are going to learn is Azure networking. So you should know the basics of networking, then only you will understand the Azure networking. So any one of you who did not watch the video, please let me know, guys. If you don't want to unmute yourself, just ping me on Zoom chat, on private chat. Just let me know who did not go through the videos. Okay, so we have 15 participants and I haven't received any message, so I'm assuming all of you guys have watched the networking videos, and accordingly then I'll proceed. Okay, so when it comes to networking, guys, let me open one paint and give you guys very basic uh, example. The videos which I had shared in one of the videos, I guess he was using the instructor, he was using an example of a school, a classroom or a school, like how to get into a school you need an ID card, right, or some sort of validation or verification. And then from school, how to go to your own classes, you need some sort of pathway, gateways, right, and to speak to some other student from some other division or some other class, like for example class 5 student wants to speak to someone from class 7. So how, which route can he take, etc. This is the example that person has used. On similar note, I can use my own example, right? But watch that video, but that's very interesting. It will give you a brief idea of networking in very layman terms, so please watch that video once, right? On similar note, I am going to use an example and then we'll relate it with Azure. So let's take an example maybe of a property dealer or a builder or promoter, right? A property dealer wants to build a building or a housing society, a secure housing society, right? So to do that, very first thing he will have to do is acquire a land, a piece of land, right? So let's say on this earth or in this country, somewhere he has acquired a piece of land. We will make the analogy with Azure later, right? As of now, just understand this example. So this is the piece of land he has purchased. Now on this piece of land, he is not doing everything equally, right? Not everything, not every house will be equal. As per the requirement from his customer, whatever he had gathered using the mechanism, marketing, etc., whatever he has come up with some idea. So he's creating some blocks. Like block 1, block 2, block 3, right? For sure, not everything will be similar. Maybe this will have some flats, 2 BHK, 1 BHK, etc., or 3 BHK or penthouse, right? Similarly, you will have it here. And maybe this area, it has row houses. Yeah, this is how he has divided. Now, we were talking about a secure community. So to secure a community, what this person will have to do, what this promoter will have to do, let's say this is a builder. Let's say Hanif is leading this project. Okay, so Hanif has purchased a land or he has taken it on a rent, however it works. So this piece of land he has divided into blocks. Then he has developed some buildings into that, buildings or row houses. Now his requirement was to create it as a secure one, a secure community. So the very first thing he will have to do is create a wall around this plot, right? Create a wall. So no one should be able to access this except for the people who are residing here or who want to come, who are coming here as guests. I mean, only authorized people. So very first thing he'll have to do is create a wall. With a wall, he will have to make a gate. Definitely he'll have to make a gate so the traffic can come and go, right? People can come and go. So to secure, just building a wall at all the side, it will block the traffic. So he had to create a gate. But just creating a gate, it is not keeping a check that who's coming and who's not coming. So he'll have to make sure that on that particular gate, if he is building a gate here, he'll have to make sure that on this particular gate, there's a security guard. There's someone who checks that who's coming. What is your identification? Do you stay here? Do you live here? Are you going to meet someone? Right? This is how he will secure this. Understood, guys? Is it clear till here? Example is the exam. Are you guys getting the example? Guys, can you hear me? Please at
Yes,
least say
sir.
something
Yes.
because I was facing some issues with my mic and I was not able to. You guys were not able to hear me, so I'm not sure when it stopped working. So please be proactive and participant. Okay, so this is the guard he's planning to have. Now, someone without the permission with this guard, without the permission, cannot enter. But with the permission of this guard, someone can enter here. However, now I have another criteria that okay, this is a huge society or a huge piece of land. Someone who enters here stating that he is going, let me pick up a pen. Someone who enters here stating he is going here. But the security guard is only here. He can enter here and he can go here. He can enter and he can go here. Right? It happens. This is the main gate. Person has entered. If you do not keep a check, he can go wherever he wants. So these people are not happy. They say, Hanif, no, this is not what we want. So then Hanif says, fine, let me do something. Let me do one thing. Let me put a gate, a wall here, and again a gate here for all the plots or all the blocks which I have created. And similarly, like we have a security guard over there, let me have a security guard over here. Okay, so same thing he will have here. Fine, same thing we have here. Now, anyone who enters here, even if he wants to go to, let's say he enters here stating I'm going to a row house. These are the row houses. He will not be able to go directly. He will again have to come here and identify himself. And then only he can enter to this area. And then he can access any of the row houses he wants. Is it clear, guys, still here? The scenario which I'm creating? Because we are going to make analogy here in Azure networking, right? So this is
Yes.
what this is how Hanif has planned it. Now, if someone says someone is very finicky, some owner, he says, "Nay, this is also not enough for me." What if some person comes here who says, "I want to go here to row house number 1." This person has made an entry here. Okay, let's say this person has made an entry here stating, "I'm going to row house 1." Comes here and says, I have to go to house number 1, row house number 1. This is 1, 2, and 3. But after entering here, he goes to row house number 3. Then what? What is the check? Then Hanif says, okay, what I can do, obviously charges will be there, but yes, I can give you the service what you're asking. Let me put another gate here and another security card as well. And I can do the same for all of you if you want. But obviously there will be charges. This is what he has planned. This is how he has planned, right? So now, if we make an analogy here, this plot which I'm talking about, this is called in Azure, your Azure virtual network, which is also known as Azure VNet. In questions, you may hear Azure virtual network or Azure VNet or simply VNet. Okay? So whenever you hear VNet, understand this is your place which you have rented out with Microsoft on Azure portal. Now Azure is a huge portal, right? Even I have my servers, UT-Kloud has few servers, you guys were spinning your servers. If we all of us are on Azure, then do you think it's good enough for me to access your server? Because you're on Azure, I'm also on Azure. Is it okay for me to access your servers and you to access my servers? Just because we are using Azure? Do you think that make any sense?
No, it does
No.
not.
No, definitely not, right? I will say this is my company. Why should my competitor forget competitor? Why should anyone see my resources? Why should they have access? Just because I'm using Azure and he's also using Azure, if this is the compromise I have to do, then thank you very much. I don't want to use Azure, right? So VNet is a virtual space which you get on Azure. This is literally virtual space, guys. Okay. Or in AWS, it is called VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. VPC it is called in AWS. We don't have to worry about it. Don't have to remember. Just to let you know, I'm telling you. Literally इसको एक private जगह की तरह treat किया जा सकता है. So this is a virtual network. Your virtual network, which means your virtual space with Azure. Now this is virtual space. Again, like we have our problem, जैसे हमारा इस society में problem है. Do you think a virtual network is enough? और इस वर्चुअल नेटवर्क के अंदर मैं अपने सारे मशीन्स बना दूं, डू यू थिंक दिस विल बी अ फीजिबल सेटअप फॉर माय एनवायरनमेंट? मेरे लीगल डिपार्टमेंट के मशीन्स, एचआर डिपार्टमेंट के मशीन्स और सब कुछ मैं यहीं पर बता दूं, ऑपरेशंस, फाइनेंस, एचआर, लीगल, एटसेट्रा, मार्केटिंग, एवरीथिंग इन अंडर वन वीनेट. डू यू थिंक दैट्स an ideal situation or it should be like this? Yes guys, what comes to your mind when it comes to networking? Forget the
No,
networking. In an ideal situation also, do you think कि ये सारे departments अपना data एक दूसरे से share करना पसंद करेंगे? Why would
no,
legal team want
no.
someone else, some other department to see their data? Legal would say sales has nothing to do with me. उसका sales बिल्कुल impacted नहीं है जो मैं कर रहा हूँ उससे. Sales would say HR person what he has to do with me, right? मेरा तो sales का काम है. Similarly, operation might say about admin might say about some other department, etc., etc. So we cannot have that. इसीलिए ये blocks यहाँ पर बनाए हैं, right? So these blocks are called subnet. This is VNet, which is also known as virtual network, and the blocks are called subnet. These are your subnets. So this is subnet 1. This could be subnet 2. And subnet 3. Now tell me one thing, guys. This plot of mine, again coming back to the Hanif's plot, this plot, it has a total area of 500 square foot. You know, it's very small, but just to give you an example, this whole plot, the whole land, it's 500 square feet, right? And now this person is saying, this row house people, they are saying कि हमारा एरिया 600 फीट का होना चाहिए. बाकी ये दो सोसाइटी को आपको क्या देना है? You, it's your lookout, Hanif. But my area should be 600 feet. Is it possible, guys, logically?
No.
Why not?
500 स्क्वायर फीट के अंदर से 600 कैसे देंगे?
Exactly. Understood? कि ये आपका टोटल एरिया अगर 500 स्क्वायर फीट है तो आपके जो प्लॉट्स है वो विद इन 500 स्क्वायर फीट ही बन सकते हैं. नो वन कैन आस्क 600 स्क्वायर फीट. और अगर आपने इसको पूरा 500 स्क्वायर फीट दे दिया, then you cannot create anything else. So here maybe you have divided 200 square feet to the row houses, 100 square feet to this society, 100 square feet to this society, and 100 square feet अभी आपने रखा है. ठीक है? This is how it is. Similarly, virtual network में जो आपको IP एड्रेस मिलते हैं, for example, now we'll come to that कि वो IP एड्रेस कैसे मिलते हैं, क्या मिलते हैं. But virtual network में जितने भी IP एड्रेस आपको मिलते हैं, imagine 10. So no subnet can say कि भाई मुझको वो 10 में से आप 12 IP एड्रेस दे दो. Is this clear, guys? This is very important point. If your VNet has 10 IP addresses, can you assign any subnet 12 IP addresses?
No.
Guys, are
No,
you
no.
following it? Are you getting it?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So if your VNet has only 12 IP addresses, there is no way you can assign 14 IP addresses to any subnet. And let's say if your VNet has 12 IP address, and if you have assigned all those 12 IP address to one subnet, can you have another subnet in your VNet?
No.
No.
12 थे, 12 आपने यूज कर लिया, या जितने भी थे 14 थे, 14 आपने यूज कर लिए. You cannot have, right? Now let me go to more granular into this. ठीक है? This plot of Hanif 500 square feet, 500 square feet में से हनीफ ने 200 square feet ये रो हाउस वालों को असाइन कर दिया. ठीक है? and he wants to create a wall also, ठीक है, यहाँ पर wall भी बनानी है, and imagine कि यहाँ पर सिर्फ एक ही रो हाउस बनना है या जितने भी बनने हैं, ये 200 स्क्वायर फीट, कैन ही यूज एग्जैक्ट 1200 स्क्वायर फीट या इसमें कुछ कम होगा? 200 मैंने असाइन कर दिया इसको, विल ही बी एबल टू यूज एग्जैक्ट 1200 स्क्वायर फीट या इसमें कुछ कम होगा गाइस?
कम होगा, बाउंड्री बनेगा तो उसका कम
एग्जैक्टली,
होगा ना।
परफेक्ट, चाहे वो 1 फीट भी क्यों ना, बाउंड्री वॉल अपने बना दी। आई होप यू कैन रिलेटेड टू कारपेट एरिया वगैरह वाला कॉन्सेप्ट, राइट? तो आपने 1 फीट की
Yes.
वॉल का भी बाउंड्री बना दिया तो वो कम होगा, राइट? इसके बीच में किसी रीजन से आपने गैप छोड़ा होगा कि एक गाड़ी भी चली जाए तो वो कम होगा। These row houses they cannot utilize exact 200 square feet, right? आपने शायद गेट बनाया तो वॉचमैन का एक छोटा सा घर भी बनाया होगा वहां पर, whatever you have done, but you cannot use exact 200 square feet which you have allotted to row houses. So यहाँ पर total number of space and usable space, इसमें difference है? Yes,
Carpet
no?
areas.
Yes,
हाँ,
yes, yes.
difference है?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, difference.
So similarly ये सोसाइटी जो इसमें भी डिफरेंस होगा, इसको अगर मैंने 100 स्क्वायर फीट असाइन किए थे, कैन ही यूज टोटल 100 स्क्वायर फीट? नो, राइट?
No.
वॉल, गेट, जो कुछ यहाँ पर अप्लाई हो रहा है सब कुछ यहाँ पर भी अप्लाई होगा, मे बी स्मॉल लेवल पे होगा बट होगा अप्लाई, राइट? सिमिलरली टू दिस वन, सो व्हाट डिड वी अंडरस्टैंड हियर गाइस कि अगर 500 स्क्वायर फीट का आपका फ्लैट है, प्लॉट है, देन सेगमेंट्स जो ब्लॉक्स आपने बनाए, फर्स्ट थिंग इट हैज टू बी विद इन दोस 500। नेक्स्ट थिंग, विच एवर ब्लॉक्स आई एम क्रिएटिंग, हर ब्लॉक में अगर मैंने 100 भी अलाउट किया है तो 100 से कुछ ना कुछ कम होगा। व्हाई? बिकॉज आई एम क्रिएटिंग अ बाउंड्री वॉल, कुछ ना कुछ मैं क्रिएट कर रहा हूं। तो 100 स्क्वायर फीट अलॉट में यूजेबल जो है मेरा मे बी 95 स्क्वायर फीट होगा। क्लियर है?
Yes, yes.
नाउ कमिंग टू VNet. On VNet, if I have 30 IP addresses, let me open one notepad. Guys, if you're not understanding, please do ask me to repeat. I will do that. Because if you don't understand networking, आगे के कोई भी कॉन्सेप्ट आपको नहीं समझ में आएंगे, बिकॉज पूरा कनेक्टिविटी इसके ऊपर बेस्ड है, राइट? अगर आपको कनेक्टिविटी नहीं समझ में आ रही है, आप ट्रबल शूटिंग भी नहीं कर पाओगे कुछ। सो VNet, this VNet guys, this VNet has 50 IP addresses and I am creating 5 subnets out of it. First question, do I have a scope to create 6th subnet? Is it possible? Each subnet I'm
No.
using, let me give you more information. Each subnet I'm using 10 IPs. By the way, मैं यहाँ पर even number use कर रहा हूँ exactly, but it's not necessary कि हर एक पे similar होना चाहिए. I can use 20 IPs here, or let me give you that example. So we'll do that. 20 IPs. Uh, 5, I don't want to take 5 for some reason. 10 IPs. 10 IPs. And 10 IPs. Do you think 5th subnet is possible here?
No.
No.
No, right? यहाँ तक clear है. Now, these 20 IPs under one subnet, can I have 20 virtual machines? By the way, guys, whenever I say virtual machine, as of now हमने virtual machine पढ़ा है, इसलिए मैं virtual machine बता रहा हूँ. Otherwise, subnet में multiple resources हो सकते हैं, ठीक है? Application हो सकता है, web app हो सकता है, store, बहुत सारी चीजें हो सकती है. But we are sticking to virtual machine, or I would say resource. चलो. Can I have 20
Yes.
resources here, guys?
Yes. Because we have 20 subnet quota in subnet 1. So
Okay.
we can create 20 resources here.
Okay. Anyone else thinks it's differently?
It will be different. It will be less than 20.
How many? Any idea?
15.
How many?
19
15.
होगा शायद.
15. Who's answered that? Munir. Why 15?
Yes. Because in Azure, if you create the subnet, then Azure will always reserve the 5 IP address by default.
Perfect. Yes. So guys, like we saw the example over there, similarly, every time you create a subnet, you will have a total number of IPs, and the another term is total. Then this is very frequently asked question. Total number of IPs, and the another term is usable IP. और इसमें कहीं पर भी कुछ अलग नहीं है, सिंपल एक ही फॉर्मूला है, सब जगह अप्लाई हो जाता है. एंड व्हाट इज दैट? लाइक मुनीर सेड, 5 IPs are reserved in Azure. In every subnet, 5 IPs are reserved. For what reason those are reserved? We'll see that. Let's say if we have time now. अभी देखते हैं, नहीं तो we'll see it later. Here it is. So the total number of IPs are which IPs are assigned to a subnet, right? And the usable IPs are -5. In every case, it is straight away -5. Straight away. कोई सबनेट में कुछ अलग नहीं है, कुछ अलग नहीं, कहीं पर भी पॉसिबल नहीं. Straight away, simple answer -5. So here, if I have 20 IPs, how many usable IPs do I have?
15.
15. How many usable IPs do I have here?
5.
5.
5.
5. Similarly, 5. Similarly, 5. Now you understood why I didn't want to take 5? If I take a subnet of 5 IPs, will I be able to create anything in that subnet?
No.
No. Now, why those 5 IPs are reserved? IP number 0, right? From any range. Let's say we are talking about the 10 range. Now, I hope you guys have went through the videos and now you are following me when I say range and class. So if you have taken the IP 10.0.0.0, उसका अगर आपने range लिया है, तो उसका first address 0 will be reserved for network address. Last address .255 will be reserved for broadcasting. First address, it's for default gateway address. Second one is for router, and third one is for future purposes, future usage, or DSP sometime, DHCP. You don't have to remember this. ये नहीं पूछता है कोई. Right? But you have to remember the 5 IPs, they get minus, and in every subnet you can use only actual number -5. Only those IPs you can use. Okay? So if these IPs are gone, so what will be my first IP address, guys? Let's say if I am using the IP address of, this is my range 10.0.0.0 से लेके 10.0.0.255. इसमें से रिजर्व कौन सा हो रहा है? Looking at the one note, is this readable? Okay, so which are being reserved from this one, guys? Be quick, only 5
0
minutes.
and 2.
0 चलो 0 चला गया,
0.
0 चला गया,
1,
fine.
4
1
and
चला गया, then
2, 3,
Then 2,
3,
3.
255.
or
So now if I create
255.
any resource in this subnet, if I create any resource in this subnet, be it virtual machine or anything, but again we'll stick to virtual machine. What will be the IP address of that virtual machine?
10.0.0.4.
Exactly. Now look at this. I have built a virtual machine. Okay, look at this. This is the VM. A fresh VNet I created, right? A fresh VNet I created and a subnet I created. And look at this. What is the IP address I got? 192.168.0.4. अब वो 10 और 4 का जो है 10 का रेंज अलग है, 192 का रेंज अलग है. दिस यू विल अंडरस्टैंड ऑन द बेसिक्स ऑफ दिस वन. बाय द वे 10 वाला रेंज मैंने भी एक ले रखा है यहाँ पर. लेट्स सी, आई होप आई हैव द 10th रेंज. Here it is. Can you see? 10.0.0.4. Is this clear, guys? Still here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. We have only 3 minutes left. I will not start the next topic of networking. Meanwhile, let me quickly cover one thing. What do you think? Now forget this one. I mean, exactly इस पे apply नहीं होता, but still we'll stick to this one. Now, if someone from this community to this community, if they want to talk, if these guys want to talk, ठीक है? These guys, what do you think? इनको बात करना ज़्यादा easy होगा, difficult होगा? What is it? I mean, can they talk to each other? Can they visit each other's house easily compared to an outsider?
Yes.
Yes, why? Because ये लोग जानते हैं एक दूसरे को, right? इनके पास एक आई कार्ड टाइप कुछ होगा. So whenever a subnet, a resource sitting in subnet 1 wants to talk to subnet 2, that resource can talk. And now when I say talk, मतलब let's say कोई डेटा ट्रांसफर है, पिंग करना है एक दूसरे को, या यहाँ से यहाँ कोई डेटा ट्रांसफर करना है, यहाँ किसी किसी यूजर को यहाँ का कोई प्रिंटर यूज करना है, यहाँ के किसी प्रिंटर यूजर को यहाँ का स्कैनर यूज करना है, किसी को शेयर फाइल यूज करनी है, किसी को जिस पिंग पिंग करके देखना है, नेटवर्क शेयर यूज करना है, whatever it is they can do. Similarly they can do. Similarly they can do. Similarly ये किसी भी तरह से जो है, all subnets by default they can talk to each other. When I say talk, is in they have the connectivity. Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's say I have another VNet. अब इसको imagine कर लो, ये VNet 2 है. This is VNet 2. So someone from this VNet, he wants to talk to a subnet. ये subnet 1 है इस VNet का. This person or this computer wants to talk to this computer. Do you think it is allowed or not allowed under across the VNets?
Not allowed.
That's
No,
not
no,
allowed
no.
then.
Not allowed, right? So by default, the nature of the VNets that they cannot communicate with each other. By the way, this is a method of saying a VNet cannot communicate to each other. Ultimately, VNet के अंदर subnet होता है, subnet के अंदर resource होता है, तो communicate resource ही कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? Literally, VNet to VNet, they are not talking. VNet पे कुछ ऐसा है ही नहीं. For example, resource group पे कुछ है ही नहीं. Resource group के अंदर resources है, which are we are using. So similarly, VNet में subnet है, subnet में resource है. Resources are talking to each other. So a resource in VNet 1 to a resource in VNet, they cannot communicate with each other by default. This is the default rule. And resource from one subnet to another subnet, they can talk to each other. Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
now what if I have a business need? There is a business requirement that I want this PC to speak to this PC. Then can we do this? Is it possible?
Yes, but
Yes.
that
Yes, guys.
Yes, possible.
Yes, that's possible.
And how? Anyone knows which service we are going to use for that?
VNet
Virtual
peering.
network
with
peering.
VNet peering, right? So we are not starting the VNet peering now. Only 30 seconds are left. Let me stop the session. Do you guys need a break?
No.
Okay, then let's join the session without any break, and then we'll start with VNet peering. Okay, but I'll show you the demo before that how they are not communicating with each other, and after doing the VNet peering, how they will communicate with each other. So this is going to take some time today. And networking, it's a huge topic. This will take some time, maybe a few sessions. So don't worry. We are going to see everything in detail. Okay, guys, let me stop the session. See you with the same link without any break.